Hello folks, today is Friday, April 15th, 2016. My name is Jake Baldino, here every Friday to talk about some cool video game stuff. Starting off with something that we missed last week, let's talk about this. What the fuck is this? Oh my god! I'm not usually one to be like, oh man, sell out, man, but this is the worst thing imaginable. Konami, this is what you're doing with Metal Gear? This is, oh man. Also, this is like the next bit of David Hayter voice of Solid Snake. Really? I've actually seen some people saying like, oh cool, it's great to have these characters back again. This is really cool to have a cool commercial like this. They're really in touch. I disagree. This sucks. I feel like they're really like pissing in my face as a Metal Gear fan, you know? Colonel, let me tell you about Mountain Dew Doritos. Like we're one step away from that. So agree to disagree. Some people think this is kind of like a cool marketing campaign. I think it's not. I think it's just another example of hashtag fuck Konami. But moving on to something very exciting, at least for me personally, we got a teaser trailer for Titanfall 2. Yes, the official big reveal is happening in June, but oh my god, swords! Robot swords! I saw the robot swords, I freaked out. I think this is gonna be really cool because honestly, people gave Titanfall a bad rap, but when you're in a multiplayer match and it's good, it is a fun game. Sure, it didn't have a single player campaign, not a lot of modes, but the core gameplay there was so fun. Titanfall 2 could be freaking amazing. And you know, before anyone even says, no, nobody's paying me to say this, sometimes I just like video games. And something we stumbled across, check out this cool homemade gaming media shelf that basically looks like a GameCube symbol. This thing is incredible, and user Edgemere Drive built this thing from the ground up with wood and paint, and I really would want to get something like this and fill it up with games, but now the way things are going, I don't have as many physical games as I used to with the digital future and whatnot, but this thing is still incredible. Great job. And in a nice little surprise, Final Fantasy IX is on Steam, and it actually looks a little better than it used to. It's not a completely redone thing, but it's a great game and you should check it out regardless. Since we are talking about Final Fantasy, let's talk about Final Fantasy 15, which, yes, it is an actual game that is actually coming out now. Game director Hajime Tabata has said that the game is likely to take 50 hours or so to complete. He was quoted as saying, "The story has been split up into chapters, but a section presumed to take an hour can end up taking far longer. I would expect the average time to be a bit longer." That's awesome and great news and everything, but it's very tricky to talk about game length because for seemingly almost every player, it's completely different. Everybody plays different, people progress through games differently, and even a lot of times like what we do before we buy videos or if I read other game reviews, like when they say it took them this amount of time, you really have to look into that because that could mean a lot of different things. Are you the type of player that likes to explore? Do you like to read every little story thing you pick up in detail? Do you skip the cutscenes? Do you do side quests? It's all just a lot of variables, but I am hoping Final Fantasy 15 does take that long to beat because it took so long to make. Every week or so we talk about the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One apparently being upgraded to a better version of said system, you know, with PS4 apparently getting a 4K HD version of the system to run games more powerfully. Well, this week we got an interesting interview with a BioWare developer who had a lot of things to say about this. It's good to get this kind of perspective from the other side because it's pretty enlightening. In a recent interview with GameSpot, the former co-founder of BioWare spoke about how this would be, and I quote, "a gigantic pain in the ass." My favorite quote from this interview is, "I'd say that'd be a gigantic pain in the ass that flies in the face of the purpose of consoles. The whole purpose of consoles is the set of requirements that you work against from a hardware perspective. To change that is complete lunacy." Them be some fighting words if I ever heard him, ladies and gentlemen, but he's absolutely right. Speaking from a developer's perspective, you know, when you develop on consoles, you know exactly what you have to work with because every consumer that you're developing the software for has those said hardware things. Everybody's working with the same amount of RAM, the hard drive space, graphics, everything. You know exactly what you're dealing with and developing for, and whether you love them or hate them, that's kind of the purpose of consoles. Consoles exist for this, PCs exist for this. So to change that, I think is very interesting. While this BioWare co-founder is very butthurt about it, I don't know, it's kind of interesting that things could be potentially shaken up. But then I guess on the flip side, it kind of would suck for consumers to buy a new PlayStation or upgrade like they would upgrade an iPhone or something, which could be terrible. But I guess the moral of the story, and once again like last week and this week, I'm going to answer for you guys who are about to comment, PC is the best, it's the best thing ever, why would you ever touch a console, right? Coffee and Red Bull back to back was not a good idea. Since we are talking about the future of technology, let's talk about VR and how basically VR in general has been delayed. For the majority of people that pre-ordered Oculus Rifts within that window of like right when pre-orders went live way back in January, apparently they all got emails saying that their shipping date has been pushed back a lot due to an unexpected component shortage. It still kind of sucks, and you know, they barely kind of kept these paying customers informed. and it's totally crappy. Myself, for example, I pre-ordered an Oculus Rift within like that first hour of when the site went live and crashed and went live and crashed. And I got a pre-order in that said, congratulations, your window is March. I waited around, twiddled my thumbs until this week when I got an email that said I'm not gonna get the thing until fucking June. While everyone is complaining and the Oculus Rift Reddit seemingly burned down, Vive isn't really doing too well either with shipping out their units. I'm sure they're being hit by the same component shortage. But since we are talking about Oculus and Vive, someone has developed an Oculus plugin for the Vive that lets you play some of the Oculus Rift exclusives on your HTC Vive if you're nasty. So if you got your big expensive fancy HTC Vive in your room scale VR and you're kind of jammed up that you can't play Lucky's Tale or Eve Valkyrie, now you can. Check out this mosh pit simulator gone wrong. This developer, who I've linked below, you gotta check out his Twitter account because it's just endless gifs of him making mistakes in making games. This is an abomination. Look at this. Something about really weird, like fucked up physics and like wonkiness in games is like horrifyingly hilarious, and I love it. Down below, I left a link to go check out the images of that because they're really funny, as well as everything else I talk about this week, including this stupid fucking suit. Should I wear this? Would you guys watch this show if I wear this every week? I would hope not. Well, that's a thing. But real quick, to bring things down for a second, on the Dark Souls Reddit, user TartarusRex0707 posted a heartfelt story about him and his best friend playing co-op Dark Souls together until his friend's unfortunate passing. I don't want to give you guys a rundown of the whole thing because you guys know how to read, and I do think it's definitely worth a read because it kind of gives you that like sense of like why we do play games and why we enjoy other people that play games. You know, when it comes down to it and it's just human experiences and playing video games and it's just none of the internet crap around it, it really makes you think. So I really think you should check out this thread and at least give it a read. Also, side note, if you've been bummed out about video games lately, Ratchet & Clank, I don't know if you guys saw the Before You Buy I did on it, but oh my god, that game will put the joy of video games back in you because it is so fucking good. But I digress. Let's talk about something very interesting. A Pokemon movie. Yes, there's always been talk about this, but this time it actually seems like it's gonna be a thing.
What's the very interesting thing you were talking about?
What's very interesting?
You said let's talk about something very interesting. And then you started talking about a Pokemon movie.
Oh, fuck you! Apparently, according to some sources, there is a bidding war in Hollywood going on for the rights to making a live-action Pokemon movie. You know, like with actors and Pokemon, which are probably going to be CGI, even though I think it would be funnier if they took cats and dogs and painted them different colors. And apparently, it's between Sony, Warner Brothers, and Legendary. And if Legendary gets it, I think that's really cool since they're working on the Warcraft movie, which I gotta say looks pretty good. But I really, really hope that from this point on, we kind of have a turning point for video game movies and they start getting good because number one, Warcraft looks good. Early buzz about Assassin's Creed. Apparently there's a trailer out there at CinemaCon. Apparently it looks great. So I'm really, really hoping things turn around and video game movies are awesome. And could you even imagine a Pokemon movie? What would it even be like? I can't even picture like how it would be a live action Pokemon movie.
Probably like
dark and gritty.
Pilgrim versus the World.
No, yeah, that's how they should do it. Yo, one last thing I want to talk about real quick. Grand Theft Auto Online. Rockstar has reported that thanks to Grand Theft Auto Online's microtransactions, they raked in over $500 million. Why did I sound like the Lotto guy when I said that? So how do you guys feel about that? Because I know microtransactions are a very contested thing. Rockstar has put out some good support and content for GTA Online, but that's a lot of money. So that means a lot of people are buying stuff. I do think their version of microtransaction is better than some other games, but I think this still goes to show that like, this model does work for game publishers, so they're gonna keep doing it whether you like it or not. Kill me. So that is a thing, but not to end on a doubter, the Doom beta is open to everyone this weekend. You gotta download it on, I think it's PS4, Xbox One, and Steam if you wanna check it out. It's okay. I'm gonna hop into it once again over the weekend, and I will be in the comments here and on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram talking about video games, so if you guys wanna follow me over there, let's talk about stuff. And if you do follow me over there, keep your eyes peeled because I am going to be at PAX East, the gaming convention in Boston, and I'm gonna be doing some meetups and fun stuff on Saturday and Sunday, so keep your eyes peeled. But you guys definitely know the deal here. Every week we do a free game giveaway. There's a link below. You click on it to sign up. You enter once, you're entered forever, and then every week I go in and pick one random winner to win a free game of their choice. Any game that's out right now. This week's winner is... Nice going! You won! You did it! I mean, I did it for you. I picked you, but hey. It's been a pretty cool week for video games though, so I do want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Let's talk about all the shit that's going down. Are you excited for Titanfall 2, or are you a cynical bastard? Are you an entitled punk like me who pre-ordered an Oculus Rift and you're just really pissed about the delay? Do you really think Final Fantasy 15 is going to take you that long to beat? And do you think a Pokemon live action movie could actually be good? Let's talk about that all down in the comments below. I'll be there, and like I said, on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. You guys know the deal, though. If you enjoyed this video, thank you so much for watching. I love hanging out with you guys every single week, talking about this silly bullshit, but liking this video helps us out so much. And if this is your first time here, subscribing is a good idea because we put out videos every single day. I'm here every Friday. You guys know the deal. I'm Jake Baldino. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Pizza's on me. Can we make me disappear when I do that?